On Monday, one-term President Donald Trump went after Republican governors of Arizona and Georgia for certifying the election results, saying that yes, or confirming that he did indeed lose. So now, one person whom the president retweeted said, "You allowed your state to be scammed." This is to Brian Kemp of Georgia. "You allowed your state to be scammed. We must check signatures and count signed envelopes against ballots, then call off election. It won't be needed. We will all win." Call off the election. So that's what he said. Call off the election. Then we win. I mean, don't you see how easy that is? Wow, look at that. To steal the election. Now, the one that, by the way, happened nearly a month ago. And he's still on this, he's on his bullshit. Still. In fact, earlier, Tuesday, he tweeted this. "We won Michigan by a lot." Nope, no, he didn't. No. Fake election results in Nevada also. Nope. Here's him responding to somebody calling Governor Ducey a betrayer of the people of Arizona. True. That's what he says. Now, which people? The people of Arizona. It wouldn't be the massive, like the majority of people who voted for Biden, would it? No, of course not. The raging continues, with him retweeting such notable conservative heavyweights such as Cernovich and Cat Turd. No, I'm not kidding. There's somebody named Cat Turd, who apparently is a huge conservative influencer on social media. Here's what he said. "They never thought Trump and we the people would call BS and fight back hard. They were wrong." What are you talking about? What? Okay, you know what? The people are calling bullshit on Donald Trump's efforts to try to steal the election. He's trying to invalidate millions of legal votes because they happen to be not for him. I mean, that's his criteria for invalidating those votes. Come on, dude. No, but there's more. Cat Turd also mentions Rudy Giuliani is presenting a ton of evidence. If you ignore or refuse to look at the mountain of evidence being presented, save your breath barking to us about there being no evidence. You can have it both ways. Okay, all right, I'll bite. So you keep using the word evidence, but I'm not sure you really know what that means anymore. I mean, judges, look, we've had how many court cases? Almost 40 of them? Tons of court cases. Okay. 39 of them so far. One of them won on a technicality and threw out, a couple hundred ballots that were late. That was it. And then the rest of them, they lost. So now, if you had this mountain of evidence, if Giuliani had a mountain of evidence, would they have not used it to win these court cases? I mean, isn't that what you do with evidence? You present that evidence in front of a court in order to try to win. Again, words don't have any meaning anymore. Okay? And look, and here's the thing. They know their evidence really isn't evidence, okay? And they know, the lawyers themselves, they know that they can't sit there and present hearsay in front of a judge and say, "Oh no, this is great evidence." It's not. And worse, if you lie under oath, well, I mean, you're going to get disbarred at the very least. This mountain of evidence of what it really is it's just shit. It's just a giant mountain of turds from Cat Turd, essentially. So, look, I mean, the whole thing can be compared to a Project Veritas video. Again, where there's no evidence, there's selectively edited. And really, the result is the same. Bullshit, riling up conservatives, and then get trending on social media, and then absolutely nothing comes from it. And that's it. And that's really it. They get the idiots and they get the conspiracy theorists, and sometimes there's a lot of overlap between the two. They get them stirred up. And understand, this is who the Republican Party is at this point. They're a fringe conspiracy party. Whereas the Democrats have become the new conservative party. I don't know if you know that. And we don't have any leftist representation in basically anywhere in government at this point. And besides a handful of social democrats in Congress, AOC, Jamal Bowman, Cory Bush, etc. This is as left as they get. Okay? Stock Dems, which of course compared to the rest of the world is pretty centrist. So, and look, in the rest of the world, stock Dems are essentially the norm. Okay? But in America, we're considered to be crazy, when in reality, we have one party that is basically a conspiracy-driven cult, wholly devoted to Donald Trump, and then you have another party that is wholly wedded to corporate interests. And that's what you have, unfortunately. And so I don't think Republican leaders quite understand the Frankenstein's monster that they have unleashed. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is like part of that. I'm talking about the base. Now, this base overwhelmingly loves Donald Trump because they think he's just like them. In reality, they're a mirror. Or he's a mirror. And he basically allows them to be the worst, shittiest version of themselves. Okay? And so they love Donald Trump because he allows them to be that way. Pushes falsehoods, pushes fake news, doesn't believe in science, doesn't believe in facts, and thinks that at least a third of our population shouldn't exist. It's about time we really address who we're dealing with here and call them out for what they are. And I know that conservatives, I mean, their heads explode, right? How dare you? How dare you call us that? How dare you call us deplorables? That makes us run towards the right even further. Well, there are people who are pretty deplorable. That said, that doesn't mean I don't want to bring people over to the left. That doesn't mean that, like, I'm not going to have a conversation with conservatives to try to bring them over to our side, to try to unbrainwash them, to get them out of the cult, so to speak, right? And to really work towards building a real leftist movement that is based on racial, social, environmental justice. All that stuff. We can do that. That can be done. And I think you can definitely reach some of those people. There's a lot of leftists that are trying, and there are a lot of leftists that have been fairly successful in turning some people away from the right wing and over to the left to agree with leftist policies, to disavow the blatant racism, xenophobia, and all the stuff that we see from the right wing. But then, of course, there are people who are too far gone, that are being egged on by Trump, conservative media. And what we do is we have to figure out how to get past those people and how to push, corporate Democrats, push past corporate Democrats, and to push and to get a real leftist movement in this country and to get leftists elected and into power. And we've got to figure out how to navigate all this as a lefty movement in order to do that. And you know why? Because, well, one reason is, of course, we make the country better. And the other one is so we can avoid people like Donald Trump and avoid, having them ever attained any kind of power in this country ever again. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.